Let's start by opening the box then. It's well packed anyway, I'll give you that. There we are, wrapped in bubble wrap inside. And inside here we have a charging lead, a user manual, and the device itself. It feels quite solid. It's got a little stand here. There we are. It's got what's obviously an FM antenna. Let me plug it in and see what happens next. Well, it turns out there's two ways of powering this. One is either by using some AAA batteries. It needs two AAA batteries. It doesn't have any in it, so you have to supply those yourself if you want to power it that way. Alternatively, if you've got a nighttime charger by the bed, something like this, you can power it from that. Any of these 5-volt chargers will do. Let me just... and it behaves slightly differently depending on how it's connected. Let's plug this in. I don't know if this will charge batteries if it's rechargeable batteries in it. There we are. That's now on. Can you see? I'm going to have to turn the lamp off. And it is showing the time. And because it's after midnight, which it actually is, it's gone into a dim sort of a mode. Now, apparently, if it's not being charged by one of these power supplies, that display comes on but disappears after 5 seconds. So if you want it back, you have to push one of the buttons to get that display back. It's taken me a little while to get to know all the funny little ways of this clock, but I think I know most of them now anyway. First thing is, it can either be like this, it can be a clock like that. If it's got batteries in, the display fades and you've got to touch the button to bring the display up. It comes up for 5 seconds. At night time it does the very dim display. During the daytime it's bright like this. At any time though, you can use it as a reading light. Single press at the left there turns it into white light mode. I've pushed too far, haven't I? And it's gone a step too far. One press into white light mode, and you can dial up the brightness you want as a sort of reading light by the bed, or getting into bed sort of light. Next press of this, as you saw, turns it into a mood light, which means you can have different colours, if that helps. Blue probably isn't a good colour for getting to sleep by, and probably that isn't either, that magenta isn't. But there is red there, and green. And another push turns it off. At the back, I'm going to turn the light on now. At the back, first thing is, and it took me a while to get the courage up to do this, is this little stand has to be pushed up to there, and you think, oh, that must be it. But you actually have to push it further through a terrible clicky bit there to get it to stand up properly, otherwise it clocks upside down. You've got a range of buttons here. Here is where you'd set the time, and you set the alarm time here, and you also have control of the radio. So I've had to go, this is a terrible place for radio. It's right at the end of the universe. And that sounds very hissy, but I promise you that that's only because there are virtually no radio waves down here. So this will work. If I hold it up, it works better. There's probably so much electronic stuff here as well, it doesn't help. And you can change the loudness of this. Again, on the back, you program the radio, and then you can just move through different programs by pushing the buttons there. It will remember 12 programs. And by long holding these, you can increase the volume. And I think in the end it'll get very loud, but I'll turn that off now. So the other thing is waking you up in the morning, of course. I must say it's been quite a long apprenticeship reading the leaflet and matching the buttons up. That's inevitably going to happen when there's only 4 buttons to control all the different functions like radio and so on. You have to use long presses as well as short presses. And as I said, there's 4 buttons. But once there we go, it's just coming on now. I've set the alarm for 7 and this clock says 6:30 and it's just come on at its lowest level of brightness to start waking you up. The radio isn't going to come on. I've not turned the radio on. This is just simple, straightforward waking you up stuff. So I've turned my monitors off. So we're looking at this completely with its own light. It looks brighter on the screen than it actually is, I think. I can't see very much in the room at all. The camera does its best in low light, and it's just on very dimly at the moment. And what I'm expecting now is that as time goes on, this will slowly brighten up until finally the alarm starts going off. I'm going to just let this happen. I'll turn off the camera for now, and I'll turn it back on every 10 minutes or so we can see, oh, did you see that? That suddenly got a bit brighter there. So it is waking up a bit now. That's a minute in, I think it's brightened itself up a bit. But I'll just leave it like this now. I'll turn off the camera, be right back. 10 minutes later then. I was a bit worried as to how the brightness, how I would show the increasing brightness, but of course I realise now you can compare it to the brightness of the display. The display brightness is staying the same. The lamp itself is getting brighter. We're coming up to that exciting time, 10 to the hour, which is 7 o'clock's the time the alarm's supposed to go off properly, but it's also supposed to go off for a minute now. You can probably see it's got quite a lot brighter. It has smoothly got brighter in this last 19 minutes or so. And now we're just waiting for a bit of excitement. There's actually 8 different alarm possibilities. One of them is the radio. I haven't set it. That's one of the possibilities. You can discover the others for yourself. I'm not going to step through all of those. I'll be back in 10 minutes then. And time for the grand finale. If this has been of help to you, I would appreciate you clicking the yes button underneath, by the way. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. This lamp is now coming up to its full brightness. And any moment now. And just to give you an idea of how loud it is, I'll carry on talking. It's pretty loud. You probably aren't going to sleep through that. Phew.